getting busy and busy. We have our very own Mr. Chitangala. Mr. Chitangala, good morning.
Good morning, Tara. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm happy the topic that we're discussing, because yesterday I saw a disturbing picture of somebody who decided to throw a fetus, actually somewhere in Kabwata. A thing that is not very good, and maybe it's important that today we discuss abortions, safe and unsafe abortions, and if at all, because I read that we have actually what is called safe abortion, legal abortion in Zambia, and I'm sure that many people do not know that we actually even have that. Not to want to abuse it, but maybe it would be important to know when you can actually have that one done, and of course, etc. I know that you've got a whole lot of information for us.
And to some religious sects, this is very controversial. And I think I'm speaking as a public health specialist. Let's forget who I am in my church, but we are going to talk facts. Okay, and probably this is a disclaimer. There's a law in Zambia called Termination of Pregnancy Act 1972, and this law permits abortion on certain conditions, and these are the conditions that I want to read so that we are not misquoted. All right. In Zambia, abortions are allowed under the following circumstances. Continuation of the pregnancy would involve risk to the life of the pregnant woman, risk of injury to the physical or mental health of the pregnant woman, or risk of injury to the physical or mental health of any existing children of the pregnant woman, greater than if the pregnancy were terminated. There is substantial risk that if the child were born, it would suffer from such physical or mental abnormalities as to be severely handicapped. In determining whether the continuity of pregnancy would involve such risks, account may be taken of the pregnant woman's actual or reasonably foreseeable environment or of age. Let me make that a little simple.
Yes.
Okay. Abortion is allowed if, upon the determination of the doctor or the doctors, to save the life of the woman, to preserve the health of the woman, to preserve the mental health of the woman, and also for social and economic reasons. And also, if the doctor thinks that there will be fetal impairment, that the baby that is inside that womb is impaired. Okay, so there's no use to keep the baby inside there. Now, here is the tricky part. It's quite straightforward. It's straightforward. It's allowed. But here is the tricky part. For any abortion, legal abortion to take place in any hospital that is allowed to do that, first and foremost, there must be 3 doctors that should authorize that operation to take place. 3 medical professions in a hospital. But ask me how many hospitals have got 3 doctors, okay? That's number 1. Number 2, out of those 3, one of them must be a specialist in the area for which that abortion is requested. For instance, if it's mental health, a psychiatrist must be able to sign on that, must be one of the 3. If it's gynecologically related, a gynecologist must be able to sign there. But how many gynecologists do we have in Zambia? You know, so that's what makes it actually impossible to get. Okay, and this is why now we see a lot of people seeking unsafe and illegal means of aborting their children. Yeah.
And we know also that there are what we call unsafe abortions. When does an abortion qualify to be called unsafe? Because, unsafe abortion.
It is unsafe, and usually when it is unsafe, most times it is illegal. All right? It is unsafe when it is done under unqualified personnel, or when it is self-induced, or it is unsafe if it just happens at home, you don't know about it, as we call it a miscarriage. It's unsafe, you have to rush yourself to hospital. Yeah.
Okay, and then so what? Apart from I know you've put it, it's mental, social problems, etc., etc. What are the procedures? What should you do if you fall pregnant and you know that maybe it was a mistake? Maybe there are people who are on pills and they fall pregnant. What's the procedure?
Very interesting. You must know that in Zambia, 41% of all pregnancies are unplanned. Or let me say unwanted. All right, but we decide to go on with them anyway. All right, now that tells you how the demand for contraception and family planning is unmet. If 41% are unplanned and unwanted, then it just shows you that there's quite a lot of people, a lot of women out there that would want to use family planning, but they can't access it. But that's one angle. There's also research under the demographic and health survey that was done by the Central Statistics Office that shows that almost all the women interviewed have heard of family planning, at least one type of family planning. But
Yeah.
whether they are using it or not, that's another issue. Okay, so if you find yourself pregnant and you don't want to keep that child, from public health point of view, seek medical attention. They're going to assess whether you qualify under the Termination of Pregnancy Act 1972 or not. And if you do, you have to go the process of collecting the signatures of three physicians, one of whom must be an expert, under which you seek that abortion, and the process goes on. But I can assure you that you will not get those three. If you are lucky, you may. Okay, in emergencies only.
So what's the best way?
Let me finish this. Only in an emergency you can be allowed to go on with that abortion, owned by one doctor.
Okay.
If it's an emergency. So how should you go about it? I think people must learn to start using family planning right now. Okay, it's everywhere. It's in every health center. They should just go there. I don't want to get pregnant now because I'm not ready. We are not ready. We want to access family planning, and they're going to give them different options that would suit them. Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Chitanga, I know that this is quite a wide topic,
very wide,
and we'll take the whole program if we have to really go into it. Finally, I would like to find out from you what your definition is of a respectable woman. Who is a respectable woman to you?
Oh my God, what a switch!
It is a switch.
I think a respectable woman is you are respectable in the eyes of people looking at you, okay? And you are only respectable if you respect yourself. That's the beginning point. If you respect yourself, the way you dress, the way you look, the way you carry yourself around, the way you behave, not only in public but also privately, because there's an extra eye looking at you.
Privately.
It's you are respectable. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
And to me, that's the woman.
That's a respectable woman. Thank you very much. I know that next to you is actually Mrs. Mwila. Mrs. Mwila, good morning.
Good morning.
I was going to say good morning.
my
I'm
brother.
going to spit it out. Now, I've just realized that actually I'm on breakfast with a girl. Quickly, I know that we don't really have a lot of time to go into it, and but then we know that you're an expert in these areas, of course.